Hey guys, Double Wide 6, and today I'm taking a look at a mower. This was a mower that came from a guy I work with. He bought a house, and I guess this mower was left there, and he wants to know if it's worth fixing up. I guess it doesn't start, so he wanted me to just take a look at it and see if it's worth putting a little bit of money into. So we'll take a look at it together. So here's a look at it. It is a Cub Cadet SC300. 159cc. The engine, as you can see, it's branded Cub Cadet. I think it's made by either it's like LCT or Lonson, I believe. So it's a Chinese engine. You guys can let me know down in the comments what you think of these engines. I think they run pretty nice. Personally, I like them. They're just hard to get parts for, but that's a whole nother story. Anyhow, the mower's front-wheel drive, self-propelled, and I believe he has a bag for it, and it looks like it's in good shape. All I know is it doesn't start, so I'll take you through what we're going to do here. So the only thing that I've done is I've added a little bit of gas to try and start it, and it wouldn't start. So the next thing I want to do is just kind of, well, we'll check the oil. So you always want to check the oil. Dipstick, you see the end of that has like, it looks like a fish mouth. Usually they're rounded, but I think that's the way that one's manufactured. Yeah, the oil looks alright, maybe a little low, but good enough to test out and stuff. You always want to check the oil, because sometimes with these carbs the fuel will leak through and get down here inside the crankcase. So if you have gas in there, you want to be aware of that. So oil's good. Next thing I want to check is actually the blade. So I'm going to put the carburetor side up when I flip this thing over. Well, right away I see a problem. Let me get this secured. So looking in here at the blade, this is the hub. These, you can see the blade's not on the hub right. Usually when you hit something, these little keys break off, but they're still there. This tab is bent. Also, the blade is on upside down. So the other thing I want to look at is if the crank is bent. So I'm going to unhook the spark plug and we'll spin that guy around. Alright. I think I'm going to have to put the blade on the hub right to check it, because I don't know. I'm just going to watch this bolt head. I don't know. I can't tell. So I think what I got to do is put this blade on right, and then from there we can spin it and see what we get. But this thing's going to have to be replaced. Got to move up to a bigger impact. Worried about that stripping. It's like barely on the head of the bolt. Wrong size socket. I can barely get on the head of this bolt. This is a 6-point socket. But I can't. Let me hammer that down a little. That's going to actually help. Oh my gosh, this is really tight. I can't grip it. I'm gonna have to figure something else out here. Hang on. So I got a set of these. These are for strip bolts, and I've already started to strip this thing. Now I'm using a 6-point socket, and it's trying to strip. So I'm gonna try this one and see if I can't get a better bite on it. Sometimes these tools are definitely worth their money. I don't use it very often, but in that instance that worked very well. Alright, so now I'm going to put the blade back on, and I got to get another. I probably have a used one of those things that I broke off there, so let me find one of them. So I put the blade on the right way. I found a used adapter. I cleaned up the head on this bolt. Well, that fits through there, so that's good. So we'll line this guy up and we'll snug it down. Click. Alright, so now I want to spin the blade and take a look at it. The spark plug is unplugged. The blade actually travels this way. And I'm looking right here, right at this nut. Looks good. Now I want to check out the edge of the blade. So I'm going to see about how far it is from the deck. I'm about 3/8 of an inch on this tip, and this one, it's about 1/4 inch. So that's not too bad. And it looks like I lost a washer here. So this washer is part of the blade. The next thing I want to do is when you hit something, like obviously that's what happened with this mower, you can shear the flywheel key. So I have a feeling that this probably has a sheared flywheel key, so I'm kind of thinking that we should look at that next. Maybe I'll try and start it, and then if it starts, then we're good. So let's try and start it quick. So I put the spark plug boot back on. I'm gonna pull the air filter, which looks like it's missing. I got the pre-filter but no air filter. Looking in here, I can see the choke is closed because this thing has an auto choke. So just a little bit of carb cleaner there, and we'll see if this fires. So let me lower this table. Well, that tells me the flywheel key is in good shape, and we probably just have a little bit of a carburetor issue. So that's going to be the next step, just cleaning the carb on this guy. So I put the washer back on the blade, and I scraped the deck because I'm figuring, you know, how am I going to charge this customer for this thing? And I'm just assuming I'm going to do a full tune-up on it. It's going to need an air filter, oil change, plug, all that, so we'll take care of it. Now, one thing I should do before I pull the carb is actually check the self-propel works, because if that doesn't work, I do all this work, and then it's like we got a mower the guy doesn't want. So I'm going to quick check that, and then we'll work on the carb. Self-propel's good. So I'm just going to buzz off this carb quick. Couple 10mm. And this is basically a Honda clone engine. Couple tubes on the back, hook on these ports. And carb's already free. I just want to check out these linkages. It's got this auto choke. This is the first one, this style of auto choke, I believe. All right. Can't get this thing out far enough to get it off the stud. I'm gonna just pull that choke plate. No, I don't want to do that. Jeez. I don't know how you get that off, except pulling really hard or pulling the studs out. But I got it, so I'm going to quick clean this thing. I always like to check where this nut is for draining this, and it's usually on the logo side of the carb. This doesn't look too bad. Needle looks good. Emulsion tube and main jet up in here. Little guy that comes out there, that's your main jet. Emulsion tube stuck in there. Sometimes that happens, so you want to reach in here, and you can hit it with a screwdriver and try and get it to pop out, although looks like it's all the way down. Maybe if I take a pick that's like 90 degrees. There it goes. So we'll clean up that, spray this thing out. Well, I got the car back together. I got to order an air filter, change the plug, do an oil change, and I like to clean out the drive wheel gears, so I got to take care of all that. The blade didn't need to be sharpened. It was actually brand new, so we'll see if this thing starts, and that'll probably about wrap up the video. Alright guys, so that one took a little bit of work, but I think it's going to be a pretty good mower for the guy. Unfortunately, it's like freezing out here and I have no grass to actually mow, but I think that mower will be alright. It sounds good. I don't know if you can hear it in the background. It's running nice and even. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll link some of the tools I use down below, and don't forget to give a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. Have a good one.